Chapter 48. They slowly walked back to camp. The tall man was the Texas Attorney General, the chief law enforcement officer for the state. Stanley's lawyer was named Mrs. Marengo. Stanley held the suitcase. He was so tired he couldn't think straight. He felt as if he was walking in a dream, not quite able to comprehend what was going on around them. They stopped in front of the camp office. Mr. Sir went inside to get Stanley's belongings. The Attorney General told Mr. Podansky to get the boys something to drink and eat. The warden seemed as dazed as Stanley. "You can't even read," she said to Zero. Zero said nothing. Miss Marengo put a hand on Stanley's shoulder and told him to hang in there. He would be seeing his parents soon. She was shorter than Stanley, but somehow she gave the appearance of being tall. Mr. Podansky returned with 2 cartons of orange juice and 2 bagels. Stanley drank the juice but didn't feel like eating anything. "Wait," the warden exclaimed. "I didn't say they stole the suitcase. It's his suitcase, obviously. But he put my things from my cabin inside of the suitcase." "That isn't what you said earlier," said Miss Marengo. "Where's the suitcase?" the warden asked Stanley. "Tell me. Tell us what is in it, and then we'll open up and see if you're right." Stanley didn't know what to do. "Stanley, as your lawyer, I advise you not to open the suitcase," said Miss Marengo. "He has to open it," said the warden. "I have the right to check the personal property of all detainees. How do I know there aren't drugs or weapons in there? He stole a car, too. I have got witnesses to that." She was nearly hysterical. "He's no longer under your jurisdiction, ma'am," said Stanley's lawyer. "He's not been officially released," said the warden. "Open the suitcase, Stanley, now." "Do not open it," said Stanley's lawyer. Stanley did nothing. Mr. Sir returned from the office with Stanley's backpack and clothes. The Attorney General handed Miss Marengo a sheet of paper. "You're free to go," he said to Stanley, "and I know you're anxious to get out of here, so you can just keep the orange jumpsuit as a souvenir or burn it, whatever you want. Good luck, Stanley." He reached out his hand to shake, but Miss Marengo hurried Stanley away. "Come on, Stanley, we have a lot to talk about." Stanley stopped and turned back to look at Zero. He couldn't just leave him there. Zero gave him a thumbs up. "I can't leave Hector," Stanley said. "I suggest we go," said his lawyer with a sense of urgency in her voice. "I'll be okay," said Zero. His eyes shifted towards Mr. Podansky on one side of him and to the warden and Mr. Sir on the other. "There's nothing I can do for your friend, son," said Miss Marengo. "You are released pursuant to an order from the judge." "They'll kill him," said Stanley. "Your friend is not in danger," said the Attorney General. "There's going to be an investigation into everything that's happened here, and for the present, I'm taking charge of the camp." "Come on, Stanley," said his lawyer. "Your parents are waiting for you." Stanley stayed where he was. His lawyer sighed. "Okay, may I have a look at Hector's file?" she asked. "Certainly," said the Attorney General. "Miss Walker, go get Hector's file." She looked at him blankly. "Well, Hector's file, please." The warden turned to Mr. Podansky. "Bring me Hector Zeroni's file." He stared at her. "Get it!" she ordered. Mr. Podansky went into the office. He returned a few minutes later and announced that the file was mysteriously misplaced. The Attorney General went into an outrage. "What kind of camp are you running here, Miss Walker?" The warden said nothing. She stared at the suitcase. The Attorney General assured Stanley's lawyers that they would get the records. "Excuse me while I call my office." He returned back to the warden. "I assume your phone works?" He went and walked into the camp office, slamming the door behind him. A little while later, he reappeared and told the warden he wanted to talk to her.